Hello everyone and welcome to HipHipBarbaKnitStories. My name is Linda and I'm talking to you from Reykjavik, Iceland. It's been longer than I hoped for this episode, and I honestly didn't think that I was going to be able to record even today, but my daughter went to the theater with her grandmother, and my husband went out with the dog that we are dog sitting, and I have time, so I decided to just gather all the things and give it a go. And please bear with me, I'm a bit out of practice. There has been a lot going on, and this might be like a little bit scattered, but I hope that you can forgive me for that. Like I said, my name is Linda, I'm from Reykjavik, Iceland. I am first gonna start talking about the sweater that I'm wearing, because I don't believe that I've worn it on my podcast so far. This is Zweig by Caitlin Hunter. The main color that I used is Salty Tails from Hedgehog Fibers in their sock base, and the contrasting color for the yoke is Pollen, also from Hedgehog Fibers. I didn't do the cabling on the body of the sweater and the sleeves. I just did it in stockinette stitch because I've said this before, I'm not a huge fan of doing cable work. I find that it slows me down, and even though I really love the look of cables, I just don't like doing them. I've tried so many different ways of doing them, like with a cable needle, without a cable needle, and just, yeah, no. I can't find my rhythm with cables, at least not so far. Maybe with age and more experience or whatever, but so far it hasn't happened. So yeah, this is my Zweig sweater. I can't really stand up because then I'm gonna knock the tripod over, but basically it looks like this on the body as well, and there are some photos on my Ravelry page for this project. I do have a few finishes. Some of them are not here because they have either been gifted or sent to Stephen West for some photo shoots. But I'm gonna start with showing you what I actually do have here. First up, my daughter needed a hat for winter, and I've made her this hat before, just in a different color and smaller, and now she has outgrown that hat, so she asked me for a new one, and I believe she picked out this yarn in, I think it was in October last year. It's been like living in my stash cabinet for about a year, and so it was about time to make her the hat. And it's getting colder and winter is coming, so I made her this hat, and it only took me like an evening or something. The pattern is Kertalagi by my friend Becca, who owns Little Prjónabúðin Inn. I made the pom-pom myself, and the yarn is Osprey from Quince & Co. Really like this yarn. I really like Quince & Co company's yarns. This pattern is super quick. I believe this is like the 7th time that I've made this pattern. Super quick, very easy to memorize and just knit up. She also has a baby version of this hat called Gloth, which has ear flaps and a cord that you can tie underneath the chin of the child, and little leaves on the end of the eye cords. It's really cute. I've made that one also a few times for the children around me. And yeah, so this has been put to good use in the last week or so by my daughter. I also finished my La Bien Amie socks. These are made out of the main colors La Bien Amie, their BFL sock base. The colorway is West Knits Goes to Paris, and this yarn was gifted to me by Amy at Edinburgh Yarn Festival, and I really like it. It's super nice. I used mini skeins from Vivid Wool from the Advent calendar last year for the heels and toes. Nope, there's hair. I have been wearing them because they are so nice and I really like them. Just bright pink for the heel here, and I did a German short row garter heel for these because I wanted like a different texture for the heel, just to make it fun. And the other sock, as you can see, they're not matching because this one has a pink heel and an orange toe, and this one has an orange toe and a pink orange heel and a pink toe. So I changed it up a bit, just like I said, just to make it fun. I didn't want them to match. I don't really care if my socks, like if I'm doing stripy socks, I don't really care if they match or not. And these just felt so, I mean, the yarn is so speckly and it has so many beautiful colors that I just wanted to play around with them, and I really am happy with how they turned out. Really nice. I knitted them on 2mm needles and cast it on 60 stitches, which is good for my tiny little feet. So these are done, and like I said, I've been using them a little bit. That's why they're a little bit hairy and like have fluff on them. What else? I have some notes here. Yeah, if you're following me on Instagram, you might have seen that I finished my test knit, and I've shown you sneak peeks here on the podcast of my Marled Mania cardigan, which is now completed and shipped off to Amsterdam, where it had like a glamour photo shoot. And I also finished, sorry, strike that. I'm gonna insert some photos of the Marled Mania cardigan finished here, and as I'm talking about it, a lot of people have contacted me about the yarns that I used. I can tell you for sure that I used 2 full skeins of the Melted Baby Suri from Ching Fibers in the honeycomb colorway, and I did the size small. The rest of the colors were from Hedgehog Fibers, Ching Fibers and La Bien Amie, and most of them were unlabeled and just leftovers from a lot of different projects. They came to me in a bag from Steven, and he said make a sweater, and I said okay. So I have tried listing the ones that I recognized on my Ravelry page. I have no idea how much of each color I used. I just totally went with the flow, and I didn't weigh all my yarn after like every single stripe or session that I used them in. But the whole sweater weighs about 700 750 grams. So that gives you like an estimate of how much yarn you need for the small size. I am going to Amsterdam in a few days, and I will be asking Stephen if he remembers the colors more clearly than I do, because he recognizes yarn colorways better than I do. So if I get any more or detailed info on it, I will add it to my Ravelry page. And I'm so sorry that I didn't have better info, but that's just how knitting life is sometimes. I know I used a little bit of pollen, and I used a little bit of fool's gold from Hedgehog Fibers and cereal, and I used a lot of the August yarn along colors from La Bien Amie, which were specifically dyed for the yarn along, and I know that they are not to be repeated, or you can't get them unless you did the yarn along, and yeah, that's just how it is. But you can definitely find similar colorways in, like, from La Bien Amie or from any other dyer that you love. Just go with your instinct and go with your sense of color, and you will be fine. Just marvel the colors and enjoy the project. It's a really fun project to knit, and I can't wait to go to Amsterdam to get it back so that I can start wearing it out in public, because I finished it like in August or something, and it's been like I wore it around my house, but I couldn't wear it out in public. So yeah, I can't wait to start wearing it again because it feels really nice to wear. So yeah, I also finished another sweater, which still has not been published, but I believe it is going to be published pretty soon, and it's part of the Westnet's autumn collection that you can buy on Ravelry as well. And the Marled Mania cardigan was also a part of that, and there are some super fun other patterns coming out soon, very soon. Anything else? Yes. Yeah, I needed that, a little bit of coffee. I also finished, and I don't have these projects here because they have already been gifted, but I finished Kinda Magic socks. Yarn is from Wool & Gang. I knitted these up for my sister, who has been sick, and she's a little bit like me, her feet are always cold, so I made her these socks. And I also made my brand new little nephew, Erik, my sister's son. I made him these two adorable preemie hats out of organic cotton, and I will insert a photo of this as I'm talking about it. But yeah, like I said, these have already been given away to my sister and her baby Erik, and I will get back to my sister and her situation later in the episode. But yeah, thank you for all the support that you've shown her and myself and my whole family during this time. Let me see, socks. Yeah, I think I've gone over everything that I have finished in the past few days or few weeks. I have also been working on some other projects. My whips. First and foremost, I have been working on the mystery knit along that's starting next Friday, October 5th. That Stephen is doing the texture, time is stringing along. So I am working on that. I'm test knitting it, and of course I can't show you anything, but I can show you the yarns that I'm using, because I'm using one of the official kits, and the kit that I choose is, I believe it was number 9. I think it was number 9. It's the the gray fade with the bright green color pop. There's one color missing. It's even darker than this one. It's the last, it's the darkest color out of the 4. It's currently in use in the project, which is right over there on my couch, where I usually sit and knit. So I can't really show it to you. It's being used, but these are the other 3 colors, one darker, and then I have this Suri pop. This is called Foam, I believe. It's super me. I love greens, and I love this green. It's super bright, almost glowing, but yeah, I really like it with the gray. So yeah, that's fun, and all the info is on Raf and in Steven's group, and I will link to everything below, as I always do, and also in my Ravelry group, which I forgot to mention, but I will get back to that later. I wanted to show you this bag that this project has been living in. I ordered this for my birthday from the Stitch Mischief, Jade. I'm in love with this project bag. It's so pretty. And the inside, this is her label, and it has unicorns. So pretty. Yep, a birthday gift from me to me. So this has been taking up most of my knitting time. Like for the past week or so, I haven't really felt much like knitting. Things have been crazy again, which I will come back to later, but you probably know everything about if you follow me on Instagram and other social media. So yeah, I haven't really been knitting much, but when I have been knitting, I've been working on the mystery knit along. Another project that I also have been working on a little bit is, as soon as I finished the socks for my sister, I started socks for my mom, because moms, they are special creatures and they need some tender love and care as well, and some handmade socks. So I really love this colorway. I think I showed it to you on my podcast earlier. Steven gave this to me when I went to Amsterdam this summer. It's by Twisted Finch. It's their BFL sock, like 80% BFL and 20% nylon. The color is called Woodstock. I'm absolutely in love with this color, and this is how it's knitting up. I did a one by one rib, and now I'm doing like knit 3, purl 1, knit 3, purl 1 for the sock. And then I'm doing a heel flap because my mom likes socks with heel flaps, and like I just finished the heel flap and I'm about to turn the heel, and I did like I knit all the stitches, and then I purl 1, slip 1, purl 1, slip 1, purl 1, slip 1 all the way to the end. So I really like how this is turning out. This yarn knits up so well. And my mom is super excited to be getting socks. So I've been working on these like on the go, because I've been on the go a lot this past week or so, taking care of business. Mostly people, but yeah. And it has this super cute DPN cozy that my mom made. So this is my mom project for my super special mom, who is, yeah, she has proven once again this week how strong and incredible she is. And yeah, I'm so thankful to have the family that I have. Another on the go project, just living in this Dotted Dye Works bag, is my project for the Anything Icelandic knit along that I'm co-hosting with Caitlin from the Wool Jewel podcast. You can find all the info on this knit along in my Ravelry group, and I will also go a little bit better into it a little bit later in the episode. I'm working on a lopapesa, not out of lope though. I'm using a Lamaun from Camaros. This is the yarn that I'm using, and this is, it's really wrinkly because it's like I'm knitting on it and then I shove it into the bag. Okay, I'm gonna do it like this. I finished the bottom and like 20 centimeters or something of the body. So yeah, not much progress, but a little bit. And this is going to be a gift for my daughter's stepmom. She turned 30 in February and she was pregnant back then, so I basically gave her like an IOU note for a sweater, and she picked Saros, and she picked this yarn and these colors, and I'm just doing the knitting part. And then I've been teaching some classes. Yeah, so people need to know a little bit more about Ravelry. So I had a class teaching women on using Ravelry, and then I also had a Westnitz shawl class, which is almost over actually. It was 3 evenings and there are 2 evenings done, and the last evening is on Wednesday. And for that class I dug out my I started this a while ago and I hadn't really worked on it for a long time. It's a Vertices Unite by Stephen West. I only have this much done so far. I'm up to we're supposed to go up to 90 stitches because this is the large size, and I think I'm only up to like 70 or something, but I have made some progress on this in the past few weeks. I really like it. The yarn that I'm using is leftover yarn from a sample that I made for Hafdís, who's the dyer behind Vivid Wool. She asked me to do a sample for her, and I did, and I had so much yarn left over that I decided to do another shawl. This is her merino silk base. It's really pretty. This is like the main color. I believe it's called Hawaii. Then I have this beautiful orange one, and then I have this one, and I have this one. I have this beautiful yellow and this gray, and yeah, those are the colors that I dropped some yarn. Oh, and I'm dropping dropping yarn all over the floor. These are the colors that I have and that I used for the other shawl, and I'm gonna use them to make this Vertices Unite as well. And I need to show you this project bag because, oh my god, I'm a huge Stranger Things fan, and I saw this on Etsy and I couldn't help myself. How awesome is this? Eee! And it even has the 11 pin that I got from Madeline Tosh. I love this project bag so much. I think I have her card in here somewhere so I can share. Lila Styles, etsy.com/shop/Lila Styles. And she's also on Instagram and Facebook. And this is the Etsy shop. If you're a Stranger Things geek like I am, and like when my daughter saw this bag, she was like, "Can I also have one? Can you please buy another one for me?" So I'm guessing when it's not holding a knitting project from me, she's probably gonna steal it for herself. Ooh, and Caritas, my daughter, she started knitting. I mean, she knows how to knit, of course. She has been knitting like on and off little projects here and there for quite some time. But yesterday we went to a knit group, and she didn't have anything with her to do, and she was like, "I'm gonna pick some yarn and I'm gonna make a hat for my baby brother." She has a baby brother who was born in June, and she just picked the most beautiful yarn and then she cast it on and she's making a hat. So maybe she will join me next time or something and show her hat to you, because it's super cute. And she was like knitting almost all day yesterday, and in the evening we were watching a movie and she was like, "I'm gonna go and get my knitting," and she was knitting with me. I really like those moments. Okay, the last project that I have been knitting on a little bit is a baby cardigan for little Erik, my little nephew. And I started this a little bit ago when my sister was still pregnant with him, when we didn't really know when he was going to be born, and he won't be able to use this for a while because this is like 0 to 3 months old size. And this is how it's looking at the moment. It's just a little pretty baby cardigan. I'll show you the back side so you can see the stitch pattern better. How pretty is this? Yeah, so I've separated like the sleeves and the body, and I need to finish the body and do the sleeves. And I'm knitting this out of this beautiful dark mustard color from Yaku. Alright, the phone's been ringing. Like I said, Yaku is my go-to yarn when it comes to baby knitting because it's easy to care for, comes in great variety of colors, and I just think I love it. I use it a lot. I also use it for shawls and all kinds of stuff, and I have big plans of using it for a big comfy sweater thing that I have designed in my head, but I haven't been able to like bring out of myself, not yet, but it will come one day. I am thinking about doing pants to go with this cardigan that I'm making. I'm gonna find the photo of them here somewhere. Let me see. Here they are. This is from Baby Strikkpapinet 3. This is the third book from Lene Holm Samsu, a Danish designer that I really love. I have all her baby knitting books because they are just so beautiful. They're absolutely perfect go-to baby knit patterns, and these are the overall pants that I want to make to accompany the cardigan that I'm making. I will probably make them in this, or like a similar gray color to this one. So yeah, I am very excited to be making more baby knitting stuff for my brand new little nephew. I really, really love knitting for babies. It's so rewarding and so fun and fast, and yeah, I really like it. Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit into the Icelandic knit along. I'm gonna show you a little bit of the prices that I've gotten so far, and then I'm gonna move on to live stuff. And yeah, so if you're only for the knitting, here for the knitting part, that's basically it. Like I said, I am co-hosting a knit along called Anything Icelandic Knit Along, or hashtag Anything Icelandic KAL on social media. I'm co-hosting it with my friend Caitlin from the Wool Jewel podcast. We are encouraging people to knit out of Icelandic wool or knit patterns by Icelandic designers, or use Icelandic hand dyers, or anything that has to do with Iceland. If you're unsure about if your project qualifies, just ask in the chatter thread. I mean, I'll tell you if it doesn't qualify. I will be doing random drawings from the Ravelry chatter thread. There's not going to be like a separate thread for finished projects. I'm only gonna be drawing from that chatter thread, and maybe, possibly, I will do 1 or 2 drawings also from the Anything Icelandic knit along hashtag on Instagram, maybe, because I have gotten a lot of prizes to donate. A lot of Icelandic designers and dyers, bag makers, stitch mark makers, yeah, a lot of great people have been super generous about donating prizes for this knit along. I'm not going to show you everything individually. I just put everything in like a big plastic bin. Everything that I've gotten so far. There is more to come, so I'm going to be able to do a lot of giveaways and prize drawings for this knit along. It started on September 1st and it's going to run until January 15th. The first drawing is coming up soon. I was gonna do it this week, but yeah, like I said, I had no time for anything else than just taking care of people and myself. So I will probably do a draw like in the middle of October. I haven't really picked a date, but I will post on social media when I do, and of course contact the winners, etc. Okay, I'm gonna push it. Here we go. This is the plastic bin of goodies that I've gotten so far. In here we have yarns, we have some project bags, more yarn, and some beautiful stitch markers as well. And as I draw the prices, I'm gonna make like bundles of stuff and draw from that. As I draw the prices, I will of course talk specifically about the prize givers, where you can get their stuff and link to their websites or Facebook pages or whatever social media platform that they choose to use. So yeah, like I said, this is everything that I've gotten so far, and I know there's more coming. So gonna put this back on the floor. So yeah, there's a lot of fun to be had in this knit along, and I thought a long time about like if I should do if I should have prizes or not, and I decided that I wanted to do prizes this time around. I don't think prizes should be your main what do you call it, like the main reason why you should participate in a knit along, but I wanted to do prizes this time so that I could help Icelandic makers to get their names out there into the knitting world. So that's basically why I reached out to Icelandic makers to ask them if they wanted to donate prizes, and I never in a million years expected so many people to be so generous and giving, and just yeah, it's amazing how I'm kind of blown away by the response that I got. It was just so genuine, and people were so enthusiastic and so supportive, and I'm so thankful. So if you have already donated prizes, just thank you so much. It's so sweet of you, and I'm super thankful, and I will be sure to give your product the spotlight that it deserves when I give it away. I was gonna record like a special episode with all the prices, and maybe I will do that, but they keep like coming in, so I'm not sure when they won't come in, so I don't kind of want to do that for just a part of the prices and then not for the ones that come in later, if you know what I mean. So I don't want to like give some givers more time than others, and I don't want to have to record like 5 episodes just about prices. I think that would be kind of ridiculous. So I'm just gonna talk about the prices as I give them away. I think that's most fair for everybody. There have already been a lot of finished items posted in the thread, so please head on over and just have a look. And remember that if you want to be eligible to win prizes, you have to subscribe to both mine and Caitlin's podcast. And yeah, just I listed a bunch of designers. It's not every single Icelandic designer out there. I just did like a quick Ravelry search. I tried to pick designers that had both Icelandic and English patterns, because I want this to be international, and I want this to be fun, and I want everybody to like come together and enjoy this and kind of open people's eyes about how much creativity there's going on and how many talented designers and dyers and makers we have here in Iceland. I was blown away by how many people I could find. They were only designers, and I know a lot of designers do other things as well. I don't think any of them have this as their main source of income. I think most people have another full-time job on top of their job as a designer or a maker, or whatever. So I think they are just incredible, and I'm super like proud also to know these people. Not all of them, but I know a lot of them in person, and they are just the best people ever. So yeah, I think that's it for the Anything Icelandic knit along. I'm just gonna do like a short recap of things that have been happening in my life. So if you're not interested, then just come back and watch the next episode. It's fine. I don't really expect everybody to watch everything. So yeah, things have been strange and crazy and incredible, and just this past week has been a whirlwind of emotions. Last week on Wednesday, I was teaching a class, and my mother called me in the middle of the class, and I picked up the phone and I said, "Mom, I can't talk. I need to call you later." And she said, "Okay." And like in this one word, this one "okay," I could hear that something was wrong. So I finished teaching the class with like a rock in my belly, and then I called my mom, who let me know that my sister Fanny, who was pregnant and has cancer, and I talked about this a few episodes back. I don't want to like go into everything again because I'm gonna cry if I do. That things were not looking good. It looked like the cancer had progressed, and that the doctors had scheduled a C-section for her baby on Monday. we were all hoping that she would be able to carry the baby for about, like, we hoped for like 35 to 39 weeks, even though the doctors and everybody knew that she would probably not make it that long. The blood work and the CT scan came out not looking well enough, so they decided that they needed to get the baby out so that they could treat my sister properly for the cancer. So that was a blow, and I completely broke down, and I was just scared for my sister and the baby and everything, and it's just, I mean, it's a lot to take in, but it's another mission, it's another challenge to charge on, and we just decided, like, the family decided to just, yeah, it's another mission and we need to just get through this. So on Monday I spent the day with my mom, and we were trying to just like knit and keep ourselves occupied and distracted. Of course that didn't work that well, because we just kept staring at our phones and like, are there any news, what's happening with Fanny and the baby and everything. And then Fanny called my mom, and my mom just screamed with happiness, and the baby was out and doing fine and breathing on his own, and he weighed he was 1 kilo and 700 grams when he was born, which was much more than any of us could have hoped for, and it even surprised the doctors. And he was, like I said, he was breathing on his own, and everything just looked amazing. And then she sent us photos of him, and he just, yeah, that's when I lost it and just started crying my eyes out. So we were all super happy and super thankful, and now I'm tearing up again. And my sister's specialist, like her cancer doctor, she was there for the surgery because she wanted to like see the tumor and like do some tests and take some like samples and yeah, stuff like that. So my sister was like on the operation table like for a while, even though the baby was gone, because they had to check on stuff. And when they were like finishing up, the doctor told my sister that it didn't really look like the cancer had spread or anything like that, but that she wouldn't know like for sure until she got the test results back. But so far as she could see, she couldn't see like that anything that the cancer had spread or anything like that, which was what we were hoping for. So yeah, I have a new nephew and he's beautiful, and I've like been to the hospital to see him and my sister is just, I cannot, okay, now I'm gonna cry. I cannot put into words how incredibly proud I am of my baby sister. She is the strongest woman that I've ever met. She just, yeah, I mean, everything that has been happening for the past 2 months, it's a lot for everybody, and especially for her. And I think she is the most strong person throughout all of this. She is just, she blows my mind. And every day that passes, I'm getting more and more and more and more sure that she is gonna kick this cancer and just come out a better, stronger person. And yeah, it's incredible how she's handling everything. So yeah, I'm super proud of my sister. She is a trooper and a fighter, and I have all the faith in the world for her. And baby Erik is doing so well. I've seen him, I've touched him, and he's tiny, but he's so strong, and he's so good, and he's feeding, and he's doing everything that babies are supposed to do, like pee and poo and all of that. So, you know, the outcome was better than anyone could have hoped for. And I would just like to thank you all so much for the love and the support and everything that you've shown to me and my sister and my family. It's, yeah, I can't thank you enough. I'm so moved and so thankful. Yeah, so I've been basically helping my mom and my family the entire week, because my dad, oh my god, he also had surgery on Tuesday, like the day after my sister. Nothing serious. He had like a hip joint replacement. He had been like waiting for 2 or 3 years to have this done. And when he found out everything that was gonna happen with my sister, he was like, "Oh, just cancel my surgery." And we were like, "No, you can hardly walk. You need to like get this over with." So he had that surgery, and he came back from the hospital on Friday. And yeah, we've just been like, I've been hanging out a lot with my mom and my family, and my sister's baby daughter, Emily, who is almost 4. And yeah, it's been great. My family is amazing, and they're just like the best people that I know. So yeah, that's basically what's been going on. And yeah, I'm getting all teary-eyed again, so I think I'm gonna wrap this up before I start like bawling. Coming news with my sister, next week she's gonna start chemo again, and then radiation probably in the week after that. So I mean, next leg of battle is coming, and I know she's gonna pull through, because she is incredible. I mean, it's gonna be tough with a tiny little baby and another like almost 4-year-old, but we are all here to help her and support her. So yeah, fingers crossed. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. I have a meeting in like an hour. And yeah, thank you all so much for taking time out of your day to hang out with me for a little bit. If you made it to the end, even better, thank you. So yeah, I'll see you when I see you, hopefully in like 2 weeks. Hopefully it won't be any longer than that. So thank you so much, and I will talk to you again later. Bye.